And now, delivered to you straight from the 505's most news-biting source of tainment, it's the New Mexican Inquisition with Danger Caveros.
How you doing, folks? All right, welcome back to the season 4 premiere of the New Mexican Inquisition. We're back, babies, in a big way. We have a lot of really amazing guests. We have our second ever musical guest on the show tonight. I'm very excited to have Synyster Vail on the program tonight. We also have a special guest from the City of Albuquerque itself, Carlos Contreras, on the show tonight. Now we're going to find out how that government's run in just a minute after we talk about a few jokes. Okay? A lot of things have happened in the news since we've been gone. We're not going to talk about any of that stuff. None of it. Just the things that happened this week, right? Gary Johnson is, of course, making his case around the state for why he should represent New Mexico in the United States Senate. Of course, he's up against Republican Mick Rich and Dreamboat Democrat incumbent Martin Heinrich. Yeah. As well as the collective eye roll that most New Mexicans experience when they hear the name Gary Johnson. It's an uphill battle, folks. Meanwhile, Steve Bannon himself has entered New Mexico to campaign for Republican Mick Rich. That's right, the Steve Bannon, which means that Gary Johnson can add Nazis to the many things that he's up against running for the U.S. Senate. Hang in there, Gary. Hang in there. State Representative Monica Youngblood has officially served her one night in jail after being convicted of DWI this year. All right, Monica. Don't clap for Monica. You know, I heard prison changed her. Yeah, she went in just your average New Mexican drunk driving politician, and she emerged a hardened criminal. That's right. I hear she's totally different now. Her mind is so twisted, she even thinks that a woman should have the right to choose what to do with her own body now. Isn't that crazy? Can you imagine? Man, prison will change somebody. It's a tight race for Michelle Lujan Grisham and Steve Pearce. That's right. But in my opinion, despite the tight race, the campaigns have been going great because nobody's heard a peep from freaking Jeff Apodaca in more than a month. So, thank the Lord. What a relief. Early voting is underway, so make sure to get out there and do your thing, okay? And if you know anybody who doesn't usually vote, who doesn't think that it matters or has some sort of a reservation about it, bring them with you. Show them how easy and fun it is. You know, early voting is great. There's no 50 old people waiting in line. It's just you and that box. All right, just get out there and do it. You know, you can't win if you don't play. Just ask Steve Bannon. He knows. Man. New Mexico is once again on the #1 FBI's most violent states. That's right. It's our 4th year in a row with this timely honor. It's a prestigious honor given only to New Mexico for 4 years in a row. It's not fair, though. It's not fair. Although we do have the most violent criminals, apparently, we're cheating because we have the most violent police. And we also have the most violent food. So, good luck, Kentucky, trying to keep up with that. KOB4 Investigates released this bombshell report recently. You guys are watching Channel 4 recently. They uncovered the fact that, although gruesome, it is still perfectly legal to sell human body parts in New Mexico. Yeah, that's crazy. They actually bought a human foot and showed it on the news just to prove their point. And now that the episode has already aired, like, what do they do with the foot? You know, like, at least now, just in time for Halloween, they have a new spooky doorstop to use around the office. I could see Chris Ramirez coming into the editor's office, like, a great new idea for, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember that. I brought that here. Okay. What else is going on? 4 people have died recently seeking Forrest Fenn's treasure. Yep, that's right. It's adding to that death toll. You're familiar with Forrest Fenn, the dude who hid a buried treasure somewhere around the Rocky Mountain region. Recently, a man from Pennsylvania actually broke into Mr. Fenn's former residence with an axe, really kind of cutting it close to home there. Oh, man. You know, if convicted of breaking an entry, his cellmate might end up being the one who gets all the booty. So, whew. All right. We got a great show for you tonight. Please stick around after these messages. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. It is my pleasure to bring to you our musical guest, Synyster Vail.
Thank you, Danger. All right. This song's called Empire. We're here to take, now you're an authority, a war with your bootstraps, a calming of minority. I decree the law in the field of the beast, to the ones cast aside at the gathering of the feast. It's true. It's not a walk in the park. She saw dawningly grins as you fumble the dark. A silent bulb in the eye of the blind, to turn against itself all humankind. No time to lament on the things that should not be, when all of our suffering out triviality. Whoa, we declare we must be fair. That's my baby, tastes just like adultery. Now you hear the voice, baptized in your hate. It's the sounding of the trumpet, the opening of the gate. I found my place in it all, a position so discreet. The smallest of points is right where two halves meet. Now masters of black magic pay respects to propagandists, cause the world of men is ruled by the stirring up of panic. I am a doomsayer, a sinner straight from the heart. Is it a slow and painful death or the falling of the stars? You choose, baby. You declare we must be free. That's my baby, tastes just like adultery. You declare we must be fair. That's my baby, said, hope you got a cup for me. Hope you got a cup for me. I hope you got a cup for me. Hope you got a cup for me. I wanna change the climate, propaganda. I wanna show the truth and hide it, propaganda. By ideas she does bewitch, the woven mind has many a stitch. Let me level with you, mister, you ain't none the wiser. It's the information age of the educated fool. Like sheep unto a mate, a hydra will be brewed. I wanna crystallize your mind, propaganda. Turn against you all that you deny, propaganda. By ideas she does bewitch, the woven mind is many a stitch. Let me level with you, mister, ain't none the wiser. Thank you.
Please. Come join us on the couch over here. How about one more time for Synyster Vail, right? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Mexican Inquisition. Yes, this is your drinking water.
Waiting for me.
Now, that was really cool. I saw you at, I think, Rio Bravo Brewery the first time I ever saw you. I was blown away.
I saw you first.
You did. I remember that.
Okay.
So your act as it is now. How long have you been doing this?
I guess I kind of started going into costume. I mean, I've been building, but I started becoming Synyster at the beginning of the year. So it's only been like a year that I've really been doing this. March or something like that.
Oh, so it's fresh.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it all started with the video that I had made that was really successful, and I realized that death was kind of appropriate.
Yeah.
For what I do.
That's amazing. Well, I love what you're doing. It looks cool. I was just curious, after seeing you like this, like, what do your pajamas look like?
I don't own pajamas.
Oh, naked as a skeleton. I wanted to try a fun game. I thought you might be down. I don't know how well this is going to go, but we tried this out recently on, I don't know if anybody's familiar with Game Show Hour Now. Has anybody seen Game Show Hour Now? Yeah. It's a fun comedy game show that we produce, and we tried this game out, and I wanted to try it with you. I just had this strong urge.
Okay.
I want to challenge you to a duel, so to speak.
All right.
Who can name the most members of a boy band?
Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll go first.
Okay.
Right. I'm going to go with Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys.
Okay. Justin Timberlake. I know who's
All
in.
right. That's very good. All right, that's very good. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Backstreet Boys. I'm gonna hit Howie Doro. Your move, Synyster.
I don't know. You win.
I win!
You win.
Right!
You got me. Found my
cool.
weakness quick.
So when you're playing out in the town, obviously the first time I saw you just now, you have the solo act, but you also perform with a group.
That's right.
Under the same name, Synyster Vail.
Synyster Vail,
Correct?
yeah.
Synyster Vail. So what kind of shows do you have coming up that people can look up to?
Well, by the time this airs, I think the next one will be on actual Halloween at Wells Park, Tractor Wells Park.
Tractor Wells Park,
Yeah,
Halloween.
Yeah, it starts at 8 p.m.
And they don't usually do a cover for those shows.
No, they don't.
So that's
No.
a free show on Halloween at Tractor in Wells Park.
Yeah.
You can check out Synyster Vail.
It's going to be great.
So the first time I saw you was opening up for a comedy show that I performed in. Who's your favorite local Albuquerque comedian?
Oh, danger. Danger.
Oh my gosh, I win again.
You're one of my favorites. You're one of my favorites. Let me think here.
Oh my goodness. All right.
We got some good comedians, though, man. That's
we
not
do.
fair.
We have a lot of really good stand-up comedy, and how about this? This is also a little bit on topic. What is your favorite Halloween candy?
Like full-size, full-blown Snickers.
Like getting a big,
Big, full-blown, yeah. King size.
Everybody loves. Who here doesn't love getting a full-sized candy?
Yeah.
Yes. That's right. That's right. So Tractor on Halloween. That's the next show we're looking forward to. Do you have any music online that people can find?
I do. I have a SoundCloud, Synyster Vail. I have a YouTube channel, Synyster Vail. And that's Synyster spelled S-Y-N-Y.
Yeah. Can we throw up the lower thirds for
Synyster Vail,
Synyster
yeah.
Vail one more time? You guys want to
So-
look this up on the internet. Find Synyster Vail.
Yeah.
Get to his music. Now, the song you just performed, what was that called?
Well, I actually mashed up two songs that were very short. And I know I was supposed to do one song, but I just for this, I married two.
Well, you clearly do what you
And
want.
yeah, I do what I want. The first one is called Empire, and then the other one is Propaganda with a K.
Oh, and what are the songs about? What are the...
Well, I mean, all of my songs are sort of, they're intended to mock the notion of human superiority. I think a lot of human suffering is from us just thinking the whole world was made for us. And Empire is about that, but it kind of it revels in that as being like something that is definitively human. So I just kind of play the devil's advocate, if you will. And propaganda is about propaganda, you know. But I put the word propaganda just with a K at the end to make it, you know, like magic, sorcery of the mind.
Right. All right.
You know?
Well, I want to say again how much I appreciate you coming on the show. I want to invite you to stick around while we have our next guest, Carlos Contreras from the City of Albuquerque, and we're going to talk a little bit about some propaganda, I think.
All right.
But I appreciate it.
Thank
Synyster
you.
Vail, ladies
Thank
and gentlemen. One more time.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Mexican Inquisition. This is where all the action is happening. You just saw Synyster Vail performing the hell out of some music. Up next, we have from the City of Albuquerque. He is the Director of Advertising and Innovation. It's Carlos Contreras, ladies and gentlemen. Come up here and join us on the couch, why don't you?
What's up, brother?
Carlos.
Oh no.
What is One Albuquerque?
What isn't One Albuquerque, I guess, would be my answer to your question.
Oh my gosh. I knew you were going to give me a hard time.
That's right. We're in this space together.
This is what you work on, is that correct? You work with One Albuquerque?
It is, yeah. That was like my one of my initial tasks at the City of Albuquerque is to figure out what One Albuquerque is, right? And really, all jokes aside, it really is anything people want access to. I think that One Albuquerque as a campaign, as a movement, as kind of a call to action is inviting and asking people in Albuquerque to find a place that works for them for a point of access for making our city a better place to live.
Fantastic. Is One Albuquerque, is that a separate thing than One Albuquerque Engage project?
So there you hit it on the head, right? Like, so for this administration, One Albuquerque is a through line for everything. Working for the Keller administration has been a well accepted invitation for me because the reality of it is we're all there to work together. So One Albuquerque becomes kind of the headline, and then your subtitles or your like the subheadings are the initiatives. Engage is a downtown project. One Albuquerque Service Challenge was a kind of a volunteerism-based project, and we'll continue to roll things out under the One Albuquerque heading. But
what can you tell us about Engage? What can you tell us about that?
Engage is a public safety initiative. It's focusing on downtown Albuquerque. It's aiming to fill vacant spaces in downtown Albuquerque. So if you've walked around downtown, you realize that, and in Nob Hill even, there are empty storefronts. Mm-hmm. We're figuring out how do we lend towards folks like my man right here, makers and doers in our spaces in Albuquerque, and give them space to do that making, to do that performance, to make a scene.
You want to give Synyster Vail more room to do what he does?
Well, why not? Why not? Yeah, absolutely. We just want to make things lively, although you're dead. But we want to make things lively in downtown Albuquerque, right? We want to invite people back to the space, invite new people to downtown Albuquerque that wouldn't normally come there, haven't for a while, whatever it may be. But we want to make it a vibrant, safe, inviting place to be.
Why is
You clap for that. Yeah, I like that.
why is One Albuquerque Engage important, and what can we expect from it in the future?
You know, it's important because I think it's a project that's aiming to amplify and make more visible the work that was already happening. So shout out to Alex Paramo, to Jeff Hertz, to Gabe Gallegos, that's Enchanted Pop-Ups, Mariposa Music, Two-Way Street. There are organizers and community folks already doing work that are trying to improve the kind of like the stasis or the status of our environment in our neighborhoods. The City of Albuquerque recognized that and said, how do we make that work more visible? How do we lift it up? How do we support it? How do we pay individuals to perform music, to create busker situations and live craft vending and live art situations in spaces in downtown Albuquerque that will ultimately tell a story and then lend a possibility beyond our stay there. So I think it's important because we're looking at work that's already being done and not trying to own it. We're just trying to make it more visible for folks that are working very hard to make our city a better place to live.
Do you have any One Albuquerque events planned coming up the next couple of weeks?
I mean, you could catch any First Friday. I think now between now and the end of the year and even into the new year, into 2019, First Friday's ABQ Art Walk is a thing to pay attention to. Beyond that, I think just One Albuquerque in general, like if you are a social media person, right? If you're on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, search the hashtag. There are a number of things. So it's not always event-based. A lot of it is like resource-based. So we're trying to give you information and meet you more than halfway at the city, trying to give you access to things that maybe you didn't know about. So it's not all pop and flash. I think a lot of it is substantive work. And so One Albuquerque is just trying to wear a number of hats. So
for those of us who aren't familiar with it, what is the Art Walk? What is First Fridays?
Art Walk First Friday is actually a thing that, like, nationally, First Fridays are a big deal. So in a number of cities around the country, First Friday is of every month is kind of an art opening or an unveiling month for different venues, galleries, and otherwise. Art Walk is kind of like, I hate to use this term, but it's almost like lowbrow. It's street art. It's your common artist. I'm one of them. That are looking to breweries and coffee shops and restaurants to say, hey, do you want something other than like the Ross art on your wall, right? Do you want something original? Can we do that and then say, First Friday, come join us for a meal and meet the artist kind of thing. So it's a kudos and a tip of the hat to the local artist that is supporting local business.
So if dress for less at Ross isn't good enough, you want to go even less.
Hey, I shop at Ross and Marshalls, so I love Ross. I love not Ross from Friends. He was actually like my least favorite character.
Yeah, nobody liked him.
I'm a Joey fan.
Yeah.
But Ross is okay in my book.
I gotta ask you, like, what's it like to be a creative working for the city of Albuquerque right now? Like, what makes it exciting? What kind of problems you have?
I drink way too much coffee.
Okay.
So we have Zendo on my floor. I don't know how many of you, do you guys drink Zendo coffee? Woo! Can we, one person out there drinks Zendo coffee. But I love coffee. Yeah. I drink a lot of coffee. All jokes aside, being a creative at the city is kind of like, is being like a circle in a square hole, peg, thing.
Yeah.
So to speak. It doesn't fit, but it fits. Like it's an invitation to a space that I think many of us were never invited before, and that feels really good. All jokes aside, it feels like Albuquerque for the first time in a long time has realized like exactly where we need to be. And I think there are a number of us, not just myself. Again, shout out to like Hakeem Bellamy, Dr. Shell Sanchez. There are a number of us creatives now, Diana Delgado, at the city that are aiming to do things in a different way for the city of Albuquerque that we feel will be hopeful, fruitful, and produce some different results.
Yeah. What do you think about this whole assistant mayor thing that's been going on right now?
I love Gary Lee.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is he worth it?
He's worth more than like... He's worth more than gold,
Does he put his thing down, flip it, and reverse it?
Yeah, that's right. I don't know the next lyrics. I wish I did, Danger.
It's your flip it, yep.
But he's worth it, man. No, I think that like when you think about things like efficiency and you think about things like transparency and honesty and delivery for the folks that pay taxes every day, for the people that are working very hard, like just going to work and going home, right? Like folks out there count on us to make decisions that make sense for them. A lot of people might not know that Gary Lee graduated from El Dorado High School. He went to do a whole lot of important work in Washington for President Obama, things like the Affordable Care Act and otherwise. Just a highly skilled individual that like returned home to care about home. And I think that's what matters most, right? Like we're thinking about how do you send somebody right and left and like make a decision in both pots that makes sense for the whole. So the way that government can move and work at a more efficient clip only serves the people that are paying taxes that we aim to like live in a better space.
Well, as far as right and left goes, to appease the right, maybe I'd leave out the thing about him working for Obama.
Hey,
You're like, he was in D.C. shooting spit wads the whole time.
Yeah.
He was pissed.
He was like walking the
like, El Dorado
mall,
represent.
Eagles.
No, I love your hand tattoos. These are really cool.
Thanks.
What's going on with your hand tattoos? I'm totally jelly. I want hand tattoos so bad, man.
Everybody is so distracted by the hand tattoos about 23 hours of the day.
Are they?
So like
you get tired of talking about it.
No, I don't. Actually, my tattoos, and it's interesting, like being in the space that I am, I've tattooed heavily and visibly my body for sake of telling the stories that my tattoos are based on. So one hand says mom, one hand says dad. My fingers say 132. That's the beats per minute when I first heard my daughter's heartbeat in like an ultrasound.
Oh, wow.
So everything is like, what is the story to that? I think that tattoos get a bad rap. I've aimed to make them supremely visible so I can tell the stories about them, and flip the script on like what heavily tattooed people are assumed to be.
Well, they're beautiful. I love them.
Thank you, man.
I think everyone in the audience is getting free hand tattoos after the taping of the show.
Knuckles
You get a
all
tattoo.
around, and you get a tattoo.
You get a
You
hand
get a
tattoo.
That's right.
Well, thanks for coming on the show and checking us out. I guess I'll see you at Tractor Wells Park on Halloween for Synyster Vail's no-cover awesome show.
Trick or treat.
As well as everybody else here. We're going to all show up with a big bag of full-size Snickers bars.
All right.
And,
That's what I'm talking about.
Don't give them to kids. Just eat them all yourselves.
Well, thanks a lot,
no
Carlos.
doubt. Thank
Carlos
you.
Contreras, the City of Albuquerque, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back next week, so stick around. Same bat time, same bat channel. Like us on Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. I don't know, the Twitter. Yeah, do Twitter. Do Twitter. Why not? Should we do Twitter?
Yes, Twitter.
Do the Twitter. All right, thanks a lot. I want to thank our production crew, all of our writers, our staff. Good night.